Today I challenged myself to build the world's biggest Lego plane, and at the end of the video, I'll test if it can fly. Will it be a failure or a success? Let's find out. Okay guys, finally after a whole day of building, I finished the first floor of our plane, and it looks insanely massive. But it's not a plane yet if it can't seat people. So on this first floor, I'm gonna build a passenger area, starting with the option for the poorest minifigures, economy class. It has 3 rows of very tiny seats, and they're so close together the minifigs can barely sit. But when you sit, the chair is actually reclinable. And it also has the world's tiniest bathroom, where I just used a Lego blaster for the faucet. And it is so small, the guy has to perform a yoga move just to fit inside. Now all the passengers are seated, and the flight attendant can start serving economy class food. Sacre bleu! Okay, from here things will just get fancier and fancier, so let's build the next section of the plane. Welcome to business class. Here, every seat is made out of leather, huge and comfy, has a leg rest, and most importantly, they are spacious. Our minifigs get personal TVs built right into the seat backs, and the flight attendants serve actually decent food, like pizza, chicken wings, and even Feastables bars. What? And here at the very front of the first deck, I plan to build an ultra-luxury class. So we literally need to flood it with money and luxury. So I built a private capsule for each passenger, like in those over-luxurious planes on Instagram. Each capsule has a huge seat where you can actually sleep, a TV, and even a candle. And to make the VIP passengers feel extra special, I'm decorating the area with fancy paintings, a fish tank with Lego fishes, a PS5, and a Nintendo Switch that you can take and play in your capsule. And if you're a sweaty player, here I'm building 2 restrooms with showers, a golden toilet, and a mirror that I made by sticking a chrome sticker on a Lego tile. Hello there. So as a final attraction for the most luxurious guests, I'm building a tiny stage with a piano player and an opera singer. Alright, now the first deck is almost finished, so as a final touch, I'm building a place for the flight attendants to rest. It has 4 chairs and a table, a place for the food carts, storage space for all the frozen foods, and these complicated buttons that you wish you could press. And just like that, every passenger has a seat on the plane and is ready for a flight. But there's actually no pilot yet. That's why we need to unlock the second deck and build the pilot cabin first. Okay, pilot's cabin is built. Inside, we got 4 pilots sitting in comfortable chairs surrounded by massive amounts of complicated controls, working levers to steer the plane, radars, indicators, and all kinds of monitoring systems, and radio.
Mic check 1, 2, this is your captain speaking.
So now everything is ready for takeoff, but the passengers are so bored that they start to lose their minds. And that's why on the second floor, I'll build an entertainment area so that they'll have something to do. And because of the kids, will suffer from ADHD symptoms soon. So my first instinct was to build a Chuck E. Cheese for them where they can blow off all their excess energy. Inside, you get a table where you can eat food, a ball pool with a lot of balls that you can jump inside and have a lot of fun. Next to it, there's arcade machines and these big flying balls. And as a bonus, you get your favorite band on the kids stage.
Let's do it!
Okay, the kids are busy now, so next we need to entertain their parents, millennials. These are the old type of people who like to spend the whole day in Starbucks. So for them, I'll build a small coffee shop with a bar stand. First, you choose your desired food from the refrigerator, heat it up in the microwave, get yourself a coffee, and then you sit in a comfortable chair and stare at your phone. Finally, we need to entertain the rest of the passengers by building a cinema with a lot of red chairs, a big screen, and a food stand where you can get unlimited refills of popcorn and soda. Wait, guys, I think while I was building the entertainment, the kids started hurting themselves in the Chuck E. Cheese. So on this side, I'm gonna build a small hospital. Inside, I put medical equipment, a table with a syringe, a lot of pills, and a dropper. Okay, now people can get medical attention, where trained professionals can get you back on your feet. Okay, he's back on his feet. But what if someone commits a crime, like using a cell phone on a flight? That's where we need a police officer to step in. And for him, I'm building this small office with a map where he can study the case. And for the criminals, I'm building a very tiny jail cell with bars. And it's honestly so boring and depressing, you don't want to commit a crime. Wait, I just realized I forgot to build a restaurant, and now all the passengers are starving. So as a last attraction on the second floor, I'm building a big fancy restaurant, like a cheesecake factory. Inside, you get a fancy interior with beautifully served tables with candles. And of course, a big fountain in the middle. And in the corner, I built a bar where you can buy a glass of beer that you can build using just 2 Lego parts. Okay, but every restaurant needs a kitchen, so I built one here. It has a huge refrigerator with different foods, like broccoli and chicken, and to actually prepare the food, I hired a skilled chef and a helper, and built a spacious professional kitchen for the chef to show off his skills. Okay guys, I was forced to take off part of the wall to film this part, and I think criminals are getting ideas here. Finally, at the very end of the second deck, for the biggest VIPs, I'm building a presidential lounge. Here, you're surrounded by old money luxury items like a massive wooden table, flowers, diamonds, and king-size chairs. So if you have some important papers to sign, you can do it here with these Parker pens. And in this bookshelf, I built a secret door that opens up so you can get to the final secret room with a nuclear button in case of emergency. Finally, the second deck is fully complete, and we are ready to build the third deck. Okay, at this point, the plane is as tall as 7 minifigures, and look how much space we have inside.
Nice.
But after building so many activities for passengers, Mr. Bricks Airlines is probably way out of money now. So on the third floor, we're gonna build businesses, starting with the most profitable, a casino. Inside, you have 6 slot machines on both sides, a table where you can play blackjack, and a big roulette table. Now the minifigures can lose, win, a lot of money. And to celebrate a jackpot, the minifigures can hop into a disco area that I built near the casino. First, you need to stand in a long line, then a bouncer checks your drip and decides if you can enter. Here you can bounce to the latest hits, listening to those huge speakers I built using dish pieces. So now you can dance with the coolest people on a plane! Anyways, I like this colorful dance floor. Next, I'm building a laser tag arena, where first you choose your weapon from a big collection of guns, and after that you can battle with your friends and make 360 no-scopes.
Let me tell you something.
And here I built a laser maze out of these long, colorful sticks, so now you can jump around it or crawl under it like you're in the army. Okay, at this point, everyone's probably tired already, so I'll fill this last empty space of our plane with a relaxing spa zone. It has a wooden sauna with red-hot coals. Next to it, I built a jacuzzi and a massage table, where an experienced professional samurai can fix your back. I also built 2 changing rooms and a shower that you need to use if you want to sit in a mud bath.
Disgusting!
Finally, onto the most necessary spa activity on a plane, a pool. Okay guys, I don't know how you're gonna swim there, but I respect you trying. And for the final business on the third deck, I built a lounge with a panoramic view from the plane, where you can sit right in the front of the plane and watch the landing. So finally, after adding the roof, the whole plane is completely finished. No way guys, I can't believe I finished it. And I also added these engines and the biggest wheels I could find. Okay, the plane is so heavy now, the tires are bent. Anyways, I hope all the LEGO people spend a great time flying with Mr. Bricks Airlines. But every flight comes to an end, and unfortunately, our plane will have to make an emergency landing on a remote island. So let's hope it'll stay in one piece. The people who paid for the panoramic lounge are probably asking for their money back. Okay, this will be so painful to sort. Subscribe so I can just afford to buy new LEGO all the time. Oh look, the guy's still clapping. So next, I'm taking this massive pile of LEGO bricks and turning it into luxury kids camp to give these kids a dream vacation filled with insane activities, secret rooms, working roller coasters, and party boats. And at the end of the video, I will test it versus a tornado to see if anyone can survive. But before I will lay a single brick, let me introduce all the kids I'm building it for. And there's quite a few of them. So this kid is very rich. He flew on a private helicopter and has bodyguards to protect him from bullies.
Bagels here. Perfect.
This is an influencer girl, and she's live streaming everything 24/7. I also built an experienced camper kid with a backpack and a sack to catch butterflies. These are 2 emo kids.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
These are a group of 3 girls that always walk together and laugh about everything. So let me give you a tour of the villa where our kids will stay. We have a prestigious restaurant with a chef, money-keeping vault, hospital room for any injuries, pink room for the girls and sporty blue for the boys, and a room for crying with someone to listen to you. Third floor has all the activities, fully equipped filming room for influencers to make content, bowling room for single players, food booth where butlers will bring your food, and after the bowling session, kids can watch a movie in their own cinema with drinks and snacks.
Chicken jockey.
Oh, and how could I forget? I built a secret room for gamers. Inside, we have a gaming station with cool attributes. Sofa with a 200-inch TV for you and your friends to grind on the games. On the roof, we have a spacious pool and lounge beds to relax, and a helipad for rich kids to arrive in style. And while kids are exploring the villa and having fun, there is still one more thing that every luxury resort needs: butlers. So I built an entire army of them, and they can help you with anything 24/7. Like if you're hungry, they can bring you delicious food and drinks. But even though the villa has a ton of activities, kids are already bored to death and planning a strike under the administration's office, asking for more things to do in the camp. So the second thing after a villa that every camp needs is water activities. So I'm building a sandy beach right in front of the villa with reclinable chairs and umbrellas where minifigs can rest. And towels for the kids to lay on. Now that kids can enjoy the beach and play water games, I'm gonna build the next activity for them. An inflatable obstacle course. It has this giant column that you need to go around, climbing wall, and a water slide. So let's test if the kid can go through it. Okay, through the columns. Onto the wall. Grab the chain, climb, climb! Now down the slide. And here, he needs to jump really far. He made it! Let's go! And after all that water action, you usually get really hungry. So I built 3 carts with snacks where butlers can offer you a hot dog. A boba tea where you can order a drink with an insane amount of options.
Hi, can I get a medium half-sugar unicorn sparkle mango bubble tea with triple tapioca, extra rainbow jelly, vanilla syrup, marshmallow foam, whipped cream on top, 2 cherry toppings, a shot of caramel drizzle, strawberry popping boba, and a chocolate dip cookie straw. All in a pink cup, please.
And over here you can get an ice cream. Another common type of activities you can find in camps are sports games. So on this part of the camp, I'll build a basketball court. And I bought this special minifigure that has springs in its legs, so he can bend down and do buckets. Now kids can get active and play basketball. But this camp is only built for the richest minifigures, so the next sport I will build is a tennis court. And alongside the court, I put these stands with tennis rackets, so now kids can get competitive, play hard, and make those weird noises tennis players usually do. What's even more fancy than playing tennis is playing golf. I'll start by building 3 golf courses, each one harder than the last. And after grabbing a club from the butler, we can start with level 1. Just hit the ball and it goes around the corner. Easy. Now on level 2, you gotta go uphill before reaching the hole. And finally, level 3, where you need to hit it through a windmill that actually spins. And honestly, it's pretty tough. Let's go! Bro didn't even look at the ball! And on this side of the camp, I'm building the most luxurious sport of them all, horseback riding. There's a riding area where you can hop on a Lego horse and go through different obstacles.
Did you know that I'm riding this horse backwards?
Like fences, puddles, and more fences. And there's even a water station where animals can drink water. And kids can feed them with vegetables. Boom! Wow, I did not expect them to grow that fast. After thinking for a minute, I thought there's even more activities that involve water. So I decided to build a water park. Kids can climb up the stairs and race each other down these 2 slides. To explore the ocean, kids can rent a rowboat and have a romantic ride. I also built a water bike. And if you attach a Lego rope to it, you can go water skiing. Or even pull a banana boat behind. And finally, I built a massive party boat, the perfect place to hang out during the day. On the lower deck, there's a lounge where a butler serves you delicious food. And on the upper deck, I added a DJ stand with giant speakers and a dance floor. And on this boat, you can explore nearby islands, so I built one with a tall palm tree, a hidden treasure chest, and a crab. Plus a lost tourist who's definitely been here too long. Bro looks like he got on an island when he himself was a kid. Now Mr. Beast can buy this island and host some insane challenge on it, like survive 100 days without sunscreen. Oh look, I think this guy just won. Finally, I added sea animals, dolphins, fishes, and of course, sharks.
Trallallero, trallalla.
Another type of activity is classic camping, sleeping in a tent and enjoying nature. So on this side of the camp, I placed this special Lego piece, a Lego tent. And what's cool about it is it's waterproof, so bad weather won't ruin your night. Okay, the guys survived the rain, so I give this tent 5 booms and order 2 more. Next to the tents, I'm building a big campfire with a place to sit, perfect for roasting marshmallows and telling stories. Finally, I populated the area with a bunch of insects and animals, cause that's what nature is. So during the day, kids can hike around and catch butterflies, or even try rock climbing.
Hi, how are you?
But once the sun sets, it's time for scary stories around the fire. And after all those peaceful nature activities, it's time to hype this camp up by building extreme activities here behind the villa. So I'll start by building 2 go-karts, one yellow, one blue, and to decide which one's faster, I'm adding a full karting track winding through the entire area. It's packed with sharp turns, so when you race, you always have to stay focused. And over here, I built a repair shop where you can fix your kart after an accident. And for the winners, there's a podium, because bragging is important. Next to the track, why not build our own Ferris wheel? You walk up the path, hop into a comfy gondola, and get a bird's eye view of the whole camp. I even made it motorized by adding this motor here. Now I can control it with just one button, although I think it's not completely safe. Don't worry, it only malfunctions like every other spin. And for the final extreme activity, I'm building a roller coaster that wraps around the Ferris wheel and even crosses over the go-kart track. It looks absolutely insane, turning the camp into a full-on theme park. I even built a roller coaster car to ride on it, so let's test it. Yes, it works! And with that, the build is finally complete. And at this point, even real theme parks would call this a bit much. And before I build the final thing in our camp, I want to add some last touches, like trees and plants scattered around the area, and kids doing different activities. For example, these kids are painting, and this nerdy kid is building a rocket. I also added a scooter kid, a BMX kid who rides his bike way too fast, and a skater bro who can land some pretty decent tricks. And finally, I added a clown. And finally, we need to build the last and most important part of any kids camp, the disco. So I built a huge stage right on the beach. It has these massive speakers, and I put musical instruments so the bands could perform. And speaking about bands, since we have an unlimited amount of cash, why don't we pay someone to book an expensive artist? So here's Taylor Swift, Drake, and even that massively popular K-pop star, all crashing the same stage.
Are you ready?
Oh look, even butlers are dancing.
Okay, and just like that, our kids camp is completely finished. Welcome to the most fun and expensive camp. These kids will have the best summer ever. No more sitting on their phones. Instead, exploring fun activities. But we have one last thing left. Test it versus a tornado with this massive leaf blower. Okay, that was a lot of damage. If you'd like to visit this camp, and who knows, maybe I'll build a real-life version of it one day. Bye-bye!